Hello, hello, hello. Okay, yes, we are on. Mic is up and ready. So, as I was saying, I don't know since y'all didn't hear me, today we're talking about what to do or how to prepare for your first mobile notary signing, what to expect, how to prepare, and what to do step by step so you can walk in feeling calm, professional, and confident. All right, so I'm not going to go through my whole intro again. Let's just jump right into this. Hi, Darlene. Hello, hello, Kareen. All right, your first mobile notary signing, what to expect. This presentation, as you know, is provided by Notary Training Hub or powered by Notary Training Hub. That is the format or forum that I teach at. All right, so step, the first step is your pre-signing checklist and mental prep. All right, before you hit the road, the signing actually starts at home. All right, so the first thing you need to do is check your notary bag. This doesn't need to be some fancy bag, nothing that you have to go buy. Any backpack, any, clean bag that you already have will suffice, especially as you are getting started. No need to spend any extra money until you have to, all right? So check your notary bag. When I say notary bag, that's just a bag that you keep with you with your essentials in it. All right, so your essentials are your notary stamp, your journal, reliable pens, always bring extras. And if you're a signing agent, bring blue pens, your ID reference guide. Let's see, I've got that here. ID reference guide to help you to make sure you don't forget how to verify someone's ID is valid and not fraudulent. What else do we have? Spare acknowledgments or jurat forms. These are what we call loose certificates. These are certificates you will bring along and add to any document that does not have the proper notarial verbiage or wording that meets your state guidelines, or there's none at all on their document. That's when you'll attach a loose certificate, an acknowledgement, or a jurat. Okay, you're going to think of this as your no surprise checklist. Where to get these loose certificates? Your Secretary of State handbook usually has it in there. If you're a member of the National Notary Association, you can find state-specific ones there for free and print them out. That's what I do. I just printed out my extra copy certifications and extra jurats to put in my binder for when I go to appointments. All right. Next thing you're going to do before you leave home. All right, the ID reference guide, I will link it in the, I see your question, Melody. I will link it in the description below. It is a document that I have created. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is review the documents. If you're a loan signing agent, okay, you're going to take a few minutes to skim through the packet. This usually doesn't apply to any general notary appointments that you get because you don't have the documents with you, right? So this section is if you are a signing agent. Take a few extra minutes to look over the documents or the packet. You're going to note signature lines, initials, notarization sections, and any documents that might raise questions so you aren't blindsided at the table. Many of us will get those sign here tabs, notarize here tabs. They're like little sticky tabs. And put the tabs on the document so the signer knows exactly where to sign an initial, and as a reminder to you to check these points on the document to make sure they signed, initialed, and then there's even a sticker you can put where it says notarized to make sure you don't forget to stamp. All right, if you ask, and this is statistically speaking and data driven, if you ask signing service owners, title officers, the biggest mistake notaries make is forgetting to stamp. Okay, all of us don't do it, but it's such a high error. It happens so much. It's like at the top of notaries forgetting to actually stamp the page to notarize it. All right, so sometimes it's okay to put a sticker there to remind yourself. We're human and we may forget. All right, so the next thing you'll do before you leave home, know the flow. All right, prepare, guys. Practice makes perfect. Know the flow. rehearse in your mind how this is going to go. All right. You're going to do a greeting. You're going to do ID verification, document walkthrough, collect your payment if you haven't already been paid in full, depending on the appointment type, and then closing. Okay, doing a mental dry run calms your nerves and helps you appear confident even if you are brand new. I cannot stress enough that it may sound silly to walk it through your mind and say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to say this is how it's going to go. In your mind, it helps. It really does help. Okay. Next thing, again, visualize success. All of this is before you leave the house to go to your appointment. Okay, picture yourself walking in, greeting your client, completing the signing smoothly, and driving off proud of your work. The signing starts in your head before it starts on the page. I do this not only before signings, but I do this before going into big meetings, partner meetings, where I'm going to pitch my brand. I do this before I go into big, large networking events with a Chamber of Commerce. I visualize how I'm going to interact with people so that when I actually interact with people, I am not so awkward, because I am introverted. And so it is not my cup of tea to really be around a bunch of people, but I visualize how I'm going to walk through and be confident, and that's what I do. All right. That is exactly how I play it in my mind. Just a few tips for anyone out there that feel nervous about these type of things. All right, step 2. Now we've left the house and we've arrived at our meeting. All right, the arrival and greeting. Your arrival sets the tone for everything that follows. Look the part. You want to dress professionally, come clean, comfortable, and appropriate for a business meeting. Even small touches, of course, like neat hair, brushed hair, professional notary badge, instantly build trust. All right. So I know there is a spectrum of what dress professionally looks like to everyone out there. I want you to, especially if you're going on behalf of another company, I want you to think of this. If you were going in to pitch your services to a title company or do a closing in the office, would you dress how you're dressed at that meeting at that person's home like you would dress at that office? If the answer is no, you're not dressed the same, then you probably need to rethink how you are dressing, because you never know what the client will say to the title company or the signing service about how they felt your appearance looked or professionalism. You come in sweats, if you come frazzled hair all over the place, that is a reflection of the company that has sent you to work for them. Okay, so you always need to be thinking about that when you're out working on behalf of someone else. You're contracted with said company, or you are contracted with an attorney to do estate plannings, and there are a prestigious attorney and the notary comes in their hoodie and shorts or hoodie and jeans. That does not match. All right, so you need to think about those things. So next up is arrive on time. Being punctual signals respect and reliability. 2 qualities clients remember. I'm heavily big on being punctual and respecting people's time or someone's time, because I demand that my time be respected as well. So I'm going to show up on time and I'm going to show up ready. And I encourage you to take on those skills as well, or that mindset. Then you're going to create and have your warm introduction. So you want to greet them with a smile, say your name, and briefly explain your purpose. Okay, something simple like, hi, I'm Amber, your mobile notary for today. I'm here to help you complete your signing. I'm here to help you finish or complete your trust package. I'm here to help you complete the affidavit, your I-9 form verification. I'm here on behalf of said company, authorized agent to properly ID you. Okay, tell them who you are and what you're there for. Even if you did get off the phone with them an hour to confirm, all right, still greet them the same way. Next, you're going to want to set the tone. Stay calm, friendly, and confident. You're leading the experience. All right, you are the lead in the signing. Okay, a little light conversation goes a long way in putting nervous clients at ease. My rule of thumb is once I come in, I've asked them to show me where we can sit that's spacious, flat area, clean. I usually compliment them on something if I'm at their home, their garden, you know, the artwork on the wall, the decoration, something to spark some type of small conversation. I noticed they've got certain football team corner. I talk about the football team or, you know, whatever I can strike up some kind of conversation because one, that makes you more personable, and two, it eases those nervous feelings between both of you. Okay, especially if you can find a common interest where you can kind of talk back and forth about something. All right, next step, we're going to talk about navigating the documents and signing process. This particular page is focused for loan signing agents, and the next one will be for general notary, anything other than loan signing. Okay. This is where you shine, guiding the signer smoothly while staying within your lane. So of course, always you're going to start with verify your IDs, always confirm identity before signing, check for expiration dates, matching names, and valid photo identification. Next, you're going to walk them through the documents, explain the general purpose. This is your deed of trust, or this is an affidavit you're signing for the title company. Then clearly indicate where to sign or initial. And so the way you clearly indicate where to sign or initial is you point. I have a system of pointing, or if you use those sticky notes, show them where the sticky notes are for them to sign an initial. While this is happening, while you're doing the walkthrough, you should be focused and making sure they're signing, not on your phone or looking around, only because sometimes customers or clients or signers or borrowers get kind of caught up. They'll read and miss a signature or a little initial part. And if you're not paying close attention and flip the page, then that's potential for error. So be making sure that you are paying attention to what they're doing, okay? The next thing is to handle questions wisely. If they ask legal or financial questions, politely redirect them and let them know you're not able to explain or interpret the document, but we can reach out to your lender, title company, attorney for clarification. This keeps you compliant and professional. As a loan signing agent, just remember that you are allowed to give them the what information. What is my interest rate? What is my pay date? What is, you know, what are the terms here? Or where can I find it in the document? We don't answer the why questions. Well, why is my interest rate so high? Why is my payment date pushed here? Why do I have to pay that fee? Those are questions we direct to the hiring party, not for us to answer. All right, and so again, same scenario, but now we're going to talk about general mobile notary signings. These are any signings that are not loan signings because those are handled a little bit differently. All right, so navigating the documents and signing process for general mobile notary. Again, always start with verifying the ID carefully. Before any signing begins, always confirm identity. Check that the ID is current, government issued, and includes a photo, signature, and physical description. Match the ID on the, match the name on the ID to the name on the document exactly. Watch for expired IDs, mismatched names, or signs of tampering like peeling laminate or altered fonts. If anything feels off, pause the signing and follow your state guideline before proceeding. This is usually where, you know, as a newbie, you can have your ID guideline with you to study before you get into the meeting or after, or, you know, in between signings. You can use the Department of State DMV, I believe it's called, has one of those too. I just came up with my own based off of that information, but you can get all that information online at the respective government website. All right, so after you've properly ID'd them, you're going to guide them through their documents. Most general notary signings are straightforward. These are things like affidavits, power of attorney, forms, school documents, medical authorizations. So you can explain the general purpose about the form only if it's clear and appropriate. This is your power of attorney form, or this is your affidavit you're signing for your records. Then clearly point out where they need to sign, initial, or date. Keep your tone calm and professional so the signer feels confident and supported. All right, for general notary appointments where it's not a loan signing, the client typically brings the document to the appointment, or wherever y'all are meeting up, you're not providing the document. The only other caveat to that is if you're doing an estate planning or a trust signing on behalf of an attorney, then they may ask that you bring the documents to that appointment. The next one is handle questions wisely. If the signer asks what a document means or if they should sign it, you must stay in your lane. Politely respond with something like, I'm not allowed to explain or interpret the document. My role is to verify identity and witness your signature. You're welcome to read through it or contact the person who prepared it if you need clarification. This protects both you and the signer while keeping your notary work legally compliant and professional. Now, an additional partnership tip here is if you have partnered with an attorney, this is where you can refer that partner attorney to this client, where you would get a referral fee if this client was to reach out to said attorney to verify things or redraw their documents or re-prepare their documents. So this is where that partnership comes into place. All right, I have a question here, guys. Feel free to ask questions. We have this live format here to ask questions live. So let's see, Bodrick has a question. For clarity, you request payment and complete entering the information into the Journal of Notarial Acts before conducting the actual signing. So for any appointment other than loan signing, then yes, I do already get paid. That is just part of my system. Again, this is my preference. A lot of notaries require maybe just a down payment or a deposit, but I require full payment if they've booked any of the services other than loan signing. And then the journal, I do at the closing table. I can go in, if it's a loan signing, I can go in before and look at the documents that are in the loan signing and go ahead and fill the information out. I use an e-journal. So when I just click a button that says this, and this versus, writing in each document I'm notarizing. All right. Which document would you bring for estate planning? That's a question I can't answer. You bring whatever they need. You don't tell them what to bring. They'll just call you and say, I need, an attorney might say, my client is getting a will done or a trust package, and the attorney sends me the package or the documents. I'm never bringing any estate planning on my own as if I'm choosing the type of document for the client. The client chooses the document. If I am bringing it, it's because they've emailed it to me and asked me to print, and I am charging them a print fee and bringing the same exact document they've asked me to bring to the appointment. Okay, 2 more questions and we'll get to the next one because we've got plenty of time to do Q&A after this. After because we're already, what is this, number 3? We only have 5 steps, so we're almost there. Where do you get your notary badge from? I don't carry a notary badge anymore. I just have an ID tag just with my name and my title. But also I wear branded shirts as well for my business, but I don't use a notary badge. But I will say Etsy does notary badges. Vistaprint does notary badges. So you can get those at any of those places. E-journal, I use Notary Act for e-journal. Sheila. Yes, Janine was confirming she uses Etsy for her notary badge. Thank you, Janine. Yes. All right, let's keep going. Handling payment and closing, general notary. Oh, Zazzle is a good one too. Thank you for sharing that for a notary badge. All right, so handling payment and closing. So clarify payment up front. If you haven't already discussed it, confirm the total before the signing wraps up. Offer convenient options like cash, card, or mobile options or payments. All right, so like I said before, this is your business guide. Guys, there is no cookie cutter standard way to do this. Some of us require full payment, some require deposits, some don't take any payment until the end of the appointment. All right, so this is a decision you're going to have to choose for your business. I'll tell you my reasoning behind it, only because it only takes one or two times. Again, like I said, I need my time respected as well. So someone showing up or scheduling an appointment and not showing up because they didn't have to pay and they didn't think it was needed to let me know. So I drove all the way somewhere and met and blocked off my schedule and they weren't there. Another instance is I get to the appointment and they're not ready. They're doing other stuff and expect me to just sit there and wait on them. And that's not how I run business either. I've got other appointments. I've got kids. I've got a life. I've got a schedule to abide by. And so that's why I require full payment and then or at least a deposit, something that's going to give them the incentive to show up on time to the appointment. All right, leave a lasting impression. Okay, hand them your business card and thank them for choosing you. A small gesture like I'd be happy to help with any future notarizations keeps the door open for repeat business. Telling them that you appreciate referrals as well. And of course, this would be a great time to ask for a review. If the appointment went well, you can use either like a tap card or if you got a QR code on your business card, or if your automations are already automating, it automatically will text them a link to give you a Google Business review or email them a link for that. So that's what you want to do at the end of your appointment. Pack up with care. Before you leave, double check that every document is signed, notarized, and properly stored. This is your no missing pages moment. All right. Again, human error happens, so don't feel bad if you are someone that double checks. I double, triple check because again, we're human. Mistakes can happen. All right. Handling the closing if you're a loan signing agent. All right. So these are the differences between the two. So usually there is no payment exchange unless someone has found you personally to add. Like I had someone reach out for a seller, like a realtor just reach out for a seller. It wasn't through a title company or anything. And they paid me up front. That's just a little different. Most of the time, you're not going to exchange payment for loan signing appointments. In a loan signing, you're already hired either by a signing service, title company, or lender. So you never request or accept payment directly from your signer. Okay. Your fee and payment are handled through the hiring company. All right. So don't sit down and say, okay, you owe me $125. The signer is going to look at you crazy and then call their lender and say, what is she talking about? All right. So don't do that. Next is you're going to review and wrap up carefully. So before leaving, take a few moments to review the entire loan package, double check that all required signatures, initials, and notarizations are complete, and that nothing has been skipped and signed incorrectly. Have a system, guys. My system is to go back through and physically touch each signature line or physically touch each initial. versus just skimming. I physically touch it to ensure that in my mind, I see that it's done. All right. And I physically touch that I've stamped it, my stamp, physically touch it. Going through a loan package, reviewing it only takes like literally 2 to 5 minutes. You have time to do this. Accuracy here prevents funding delays and resigns. So 2 things title companies appreciate you helping them avoid. Guide them to the right contacts. This is important to me. If the signer has last minute questions or reminders, if the signer has last minute questions or remembers something after you leave, point them to the contact information section of the closing disclosure. So if you flip, I believe 3 pages, at the bottom is where the title agent or the lender's name and phone number, email will be. So I physically flip to that page on the closing disclosure, highlight it or write or show them with my finger. Here's the information if you need to contact them. Again, what did I say? So this is where they'll find the title company and lender's phone numbers and emails. You can say something like, if you think of any questions later, the contact information for your title company and lender are right here on your closing disclosure. All right. And then end on a professional note. As you pack up, thank the signer for their time and professionalism. Then encourage them to let their title company know if they were satisfied with your service. All right. So this allows me to then get kudos with the title company that I am direct with. And that allows them to bring me more work and make me their preferred notary because their clients are happy with my service. If your title company doesn't know their clients are happy with your service and your punctuality and your professionalism, what reason do they have to give you higher pay, keep hiring you, and make you preferred? So I usually tell all of my clients, hey, call the lender, email your lender, let them know how satisfied you were with my service. That's what I do at the end. This subtle reminder builds your reputation with the title team. They love hearing positive feedback from signers about notaries who made the process smooth and stress-free. Absolutely. Final check. You're going to ensure your notary journal entries are complete, the documents are securely packaged per the company's instructions, and that you confirm any drop-off or scan back requirements before leaving. Okay, this attention to detail is what separates a good notary from a trusted signing agent. Post follow-up and reflection, complete your journal, record the signing details again, make sure you didn't miss anything. Record the IDs used, signature, and payment immediately. Don't leave it for later. And then any state required things that you have to do, and make sure it's done, make sure the fingerprint is there if you're in California. All of the things that you have to do for your state. Reflect on your experience. Take a minute to note what went smoothly and what you could improve on. Okay, maybe your intro felt awkward or you forgot a pin. All right, that's great. You've just learned what to tweak. All right, so this is the learning process. Is it going to be perfect the first time? No. Second time, probably not. Third, maybe not either. But as a new business owner, entrepreneur, you have to acknowledge that any mistakes or any awkward moments, I'm not going to say mistakes, but awkward moments or things that you felt didn't go as you planned are learning moments for you to improve on your next appointment. Write them down so that next time you can read those notes to remember to tweak that or change that. Then celebrate the win. You've just completed your first signing. That's huge. Confidence is built through action, not perfection. And lastly, before we get into our questions here, if you need help building your foundation for your notary business, our Notary Launch Lab program is designed exactly for that. It's perfect for brand new notaries or the experienced notary who missed the foundational steps, structure, and basic marketing essentials. So if you want to get the clarity, confidence, and systems you need to start strong and grow smarter, you can read more about our Notary Launch Lab program at notarytraininghub.com. All right. Now, let's get into some questions. I see, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Thank you, Alluring Goddess. Now is the time for you to share any questions that you have about any of the information we went through today. Okay, Janine's question reads, I was going to recently accept an appointment. The instructions require a laser printer and my printer is inkjet. Do you know if laser printers are often required? Do I need to buy one? Yes, that is the standard and required type of printer for loan signings. The ink is different than an inkjet. The reason behind it is it's not going to smear when they are recording documents and things in the county. It just holds up better. So over time, sometimes the ink for inkjets may fade. And so there's a list of reasons why the laser printer are the required types of printers. Oh, great question. Elte, do I have tips on saving money on the printer ink? Oh, printer ink. I thought you were going to say printer. I was going to say, yes, for printer, I would recommend going to places like Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. People are selling and, restructuring their own business and lives and things, and they're selling sometimes just brand new printers for pennies on the dollar just to get rid of it, or if they need to upgrade or something. So check there if you want to save money and not have to buy a very new printer. Also, you don't need to buy a printer if you're not doing loan signings. That's not a requirement for general notary. But for ink, I would say you can buy directly from the manufacturer or like from Amazon. I'm not going to say buy the off-brand toner for the printers because it jams up the printers eventually. And these printers are expensive and it costs way more when I have to fix it because of an off-brand toner insert. And so I'm not going to be the one that says I use off-brand because I've tried it before, and many other notaries at some point, not going to say right away, right? It might work for even a whole year, but eventually these printers these are commercial printers meant to last a long time. And so if they're breaking down after 1 year, then that's a problem. Okay, they're expensive commercial printers. But that is my 2 cents and my take on it. There are off-brand toners and inks that you can buy. Buy it at your, caution, at your own caution. All right. Let's see. I have not used a thermal. I use the laser printer. How do we find out how much it is to do signings online? You would sign up for signing services and they will let you know how much they're going to pay. Otherwise, if you're trying to do direct, I would reach out to your mentor or whoever you did training with to see, what the going rate is. Even joining your local meetup groups of other signing agents in your city and state, so you can get a real true average of what those people are actually getting paid. Because what I get paid in my city in Texas for a loan signing could definitely not be the same for someone in Arizona. So I would be more localized if you're going to go that route. All right, Valerie, I'm a little concerned with scanning the documents as soon as the signing is complete. Do I need a scanning app on my phone, or will I go over to my nearest UPS or FedEx store? So that's a lot of documents to scan on a phone, 150 pages. That's a lot. Plus the file is going to be broken down into many different files because it's so large. Most of us get a mobile scanner that we can scan either in our car or the scanner we take into FedEx, because FedEx usually has a business center where you can plug up your laptop, you can plug up your scanner, and just scan your documents from there. You can scan a whole packet in like 5 minutes versus if you're going to scan every document, it's time consuming and it's not as reliable. So that is my advice for that. Scanners, again, you can get them from brand new, Amazon or a office store, or you can look on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace. What equipment do I suggest for scan backs? I like the two different kind of scanners, the Brother scanner, and I like the Epson scanner. Epson is my first choice for scanner. I just like it better. And Brother for the printer. I have them all linked in my Amazon storefront for notary business supplies if you want the exact reference or product number. Do I complete scan backs before you leave the signing? You know, the different notaries do it differently. I do mine when after I leave the signing, either in my car or at my drop off at FedEx, making sure I do it before the cutoff time to get documents back to the lender in time. But there's definitely some people that will do it at the closing table too, like having the client sit there, pull their scanner out and scan right then and there. There are some notaries that do that, and that's fine if that works for them. Would you suggest signing up for your Launch Lab program before becoming a notary and looking to start a notary career? You definitely can. The first module is how to get your commission. So it will walk you through the steps of doing that. But you can join before you become a notary. Just know when you apply for your commission, it's not instant. They have to do their background check, and it usually takes a couple weeks to a month, just depending on their processing time. All right, y'all got some good questions. All right, I love it. I love it. Let's keep it going. I love this next question. Can you explain the process for leasing a business office or how to for notary appointments? So it's pretty easy. With the big boom of people getting out of offices from COVID into working from home, it transitioned to leaving working from home, but working in a co-working space. And so um, all over the United States, co-working offices are popping up more. There are already some before, but now they're really running wild and rampant. So it's easy to find one. And so you will look up co-working space in your area and look at what options are. They usually have an option to lease an actual office. They'll have an option to lease a dedicated desk where it does, like the day you come in, you don't get the same desk, but you know what I'm saying? You get a dedicated desk, but it's not yours. All right. Does that make sense? On Monday, when you get there at 8, that might be your desk. On Wednesday, if you get there at 10, someone else might have that desk. So you have to scoot down to like the next desk. Then sometimes they have where you can just pay a monthly fee to use their open spaces. That is where you can use like their lounges and work on your laptop, and utilize sometimes their conference rooms. And then the last one is where you could just pay to use their address for your virtual address and get your mail sent there. And so it's pretty easy. You just Google that, find one that is in an area that is high foot traffic and lots of people moving around, business people, and go for it. Go for it. You don't have to sign a lease or anything. Go for it. Fill it out for 1 quarter, 3 months. And if you like it, if it's bringing, you know, good things into your business, helping your business grow, keep it. If not, find something else. You're welcome, Valerie. All right. Laser printer models. The newer ones are, see, this one is the older model, 6200, but because they've got like 3 models after that. But as you can see, my commercial printer is lasting that long. That's why I say it's an investment, one, yes. And two, I don't want to play with my investment on products that can ruin my investment. So mine is the 6200, but just know when you go online to buy, there's like 3 more models after mine. So usually it's the dual tray laser printer one from Brother. But the newer one is linked into my Amazon store. You scanned your first packet and it cost $27. Why? You need to get your own scanner. It shouldn't, you need to get your own scanner. Are you scanning like at a scanning office or something? I just need, I guess they need more clarification of why it costs you $27 to scan documents. The scanner cost you 27 documents or the scanning? Do I use CRM? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Of course. Is there a training? Hi, Tanya. Is there a training for apostille and loan signing? Yes, the same website that you see here on the screen is the same website where all of our education suite, all of our courses are at notarytraininghub.com. Do I offer Ron class and what's the cost? Yes, I offer Ron class. It's also at notarytraininghub.com. And you are in Florida, we've got a very good budding Florida chapter out there in our community where we meet monthly out there in Florida as well. Hi, let's see, she is AP notary in New Jersey. Hello there. Interested in doing apostille appointments. All right. When I have an assignment, can I email the client their loan documents? You need to follow the instructions of the title company or lender. When you work for a title company or lender or signing service, they'll give you instructions. We usually don't email the clients their loan documents, though. I'll just say that. I'm struggling to get started as a signing agent. Would your Launch Lab help prepare me for this? I need more information. Launch Lab is not for loan signing. It's more of setting up your business. It's like a business class, but for notaries. So I'm not teaching you how to do an acknowledgement, all of that. I do talk about it, but I'm teaching you how to run a business, a notary business, how to launch it. Signing agent information would be in the signing agent class, or you can join our community where we talk about that in there all the time. I do not, Tanya. The instructions say print 2 packets, and so I print 2 packets. I don't go around what they usually say and email it to them. I don't. They have their reasons for that too, so I'll just say that. They don't want you sending the documents sometimes to the client. All righty. Thank you, Erica, for the compliment on our training at the Notary Training Hub. I appreciate that. Let's see, Elte, who builds your website and do you offer website services? I do all my own web development. That is one of the things that I love about being an entrepreneur is I got to learn all the technical side of these types of things. So I build all my own websites. And I do not offer website services anymore because it's time consuming and I'm very OCD. And so I'll look at your website that I published and look at it again in a month. And if I see one little thing that I don't like, then I'll be taking like 3 days and doing all this stuff to do it. So I don't do that anymore. I do offer a done for you website where you can download the template and all you do is change all the information, but that's through Wix if you're going to use Wix. And that's in my Stand Store done for you one page website. But I do not create and develop it anymore. I don't do that anymore. Let's see, Super Queen B. I'm having a hard time verifying my business on Google because I do not have an office space. What is a good workaround for that that is low cost? You can use service area to get verified. But I mean, I'd have to have more information because there's a lot of us, because I've got more than one location other than this office space. And even if you don't have a set office, you can still do it. It's just a matter of what you did in the video for verification for Google. So maybe you should email me and we can talk through that, Super Queen. But the workaround, if you don't want to go through all of that, just take location off and use service area. Although, in my opinion, you're not going to get as much local leads and traction and search as someone who puts an address. But you can turn on just services. I'm sorry, service area versus a location. Will I have a meeting in Nashville, Tennessee soon? Yes, I will. Absolutely. Take your time, Erica. There's no rush. Work on getting your first 5 to 10 clients and then move on to all of the other trainings. So you want to start being an income earning notary. So get the foundation and the information for the main service and get really good at that. And then you can go through all the other courses and trainings. All right, I got all the questions. We have 6 minutes to spare if there are any other questions from anyone in today's session. All right, while I'm waiting for any last minute questions, I will talk about upcoming events I'm having. I am having the Notary Friendsgiving happening on November 15th in Dallas, Texas. We have 2 spots left for anyone that wants to join us for a Friendsgiving celebration. We have our Austin chapter meetup coming up on November 8th in our Signature Success community. You can come and join our working meeting in Austin. We also have Chicago is coming up next week as well. Our Chicago meetup is coming up. And then if you want to join the interest list for the Notary Success Cruise, Empower Notary Summit at Sea, that will be in the main website or description as well. We are taking our Empower Notary Summit on the water. And so if you're interested in that, that will also be in the description. All right. Who do I recommend for Ron? So that's a loaded question because every state has different platforms that they accept. All right. And so I'll tell you the top 3 or 4 that majority of notaries use. So, and there's no particular order of my favorite or anything, but you want to look and see if these are available and okay for you to use in your state. First is going to be Notary Hub, not to be confused with my training, Notary Training Hub. Notary Hub is an online RON platform, so it's just Notary Hub. Also, there is Proof, formerly known as Notarize. There is Blue Notary, and there is Notary Cam. So look into those 4 to see what meets your needs and if it's available in your state. You're welcome, Elte. Anything coming towards Virginia, Mary? Yes, our DMV chapter is meeting as well. Our DMV chapter is big and they are rowdy. I got some rowdy girls out there in DMV. Yay, Queensley. Queen Sally, sorry, Queen Sally, you'll be at Friendsgiving. I can't wait to see you. That's amazing. I can't wait to see. What are you bringing? What food or dish? Do you know what food or dish you're bringing, Queen Sally? I'm curious. Kareen, our Florida chapters are Orlando and Miami and Jacksonville. We have 3 chapters out there in Florida. We don't have a dedicated Tennessee chapter yet, but we're working on it. Tanya. Super Queen Bee. Yes, we have an apostille training class. It's at notarytraininghub.com. Yes, Chicago is another big chapter that we have, and they're meeting next week. Our Chicago chapter. We don't have an Indiana chapter quite yet. All right. No, we don't. Let me just read off the different chapters before we head out of here, since I'm getting questions about it. Let me read off the different chapters that we have right now. Let's see. Can y'all see me? Yeah. All righty. We have the following chapters. We have Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Detroit, Houston, Greensboro, Jacksonville, LA, New Jersey, Philly, DMV, Miami, Orlando, Austin, and Oregon. All right, we've got 5 pending chapters that are working on doing all of their onboarding and meeting with me. And so we will announce those chapters in the upcoming weeks. Mac and cheese, yes. Don't disappoint me, Queen Sally. It better be good, because that's my favorite dish whenever I'm eating Thanksgiving meals. Don't disappoint. I hope you're bringing your A game with that dish. All right. I hope you're bringing your A game with that dish. All right, friends, we got 1 minute. Thank you guys for coming into this live session today, talking about what to expect on your first mobile signing, whether it's general or loan signing. If you have any lingering questions after this session, you can put them in the comments or you can email me. My email is also in the description. I'm happy to answer those questions and provide clarification. I'll see you guys at the next session. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with a new notary that you think may benefit from this information. Have a good rest of your day, guys.